Hello everyone, my name is Torres Blamo, and this is going to be my tips and tricks video for the Spiral Abyss for version 2.0. For the first half of Chamber 1 and Floor 12, the enemies are split up into two waves. The first wave consists of 3 Nobushi, and the strategy I employ to group these Nobushi together is by going after the one with the crossbow, staggering both him and the Straw Hat Nobushi to prevent them from using any sort of several annoying attack patterns, such as the crossbow Nobushi shooting his crossbow, or the Straw Hat Nobushi jumping back and deploying fireworks. The second wave consists of 2 Samurai, 1 Electro, and 1 Pyro. They have an annoying mechanic. If you only take out one of them, the other will heal for half their max HP and enter an enraged state. In this enraged state, they can't be CC'd in any form and deal increased damage. Because of this, you'll want to actually take out both of them at the same time, using whatever means you have of AoE damage. I suggest you bring at least one shielder for this half, as the samurai can one-shot most characters, and their attack patterns are difficult to iframe through without the use of bursts. This is including but not only limited to their spin attacks and their thrusting attacks.
Gather, keepers. This is order.
For the second half of Chamber 1, there are also 2 waves. The first wave consists of 2 Fatui agents. They should be fairly simple to deal with, but keep in mind that the electric aura in the middle will increase their resistance to stagger, making them much more difficult to deal with as they enter their cloaked state. After dealing with them, you'll have the second wave, consisting of a Mirror Maiden and an Electro Fatui Mage. You'll want to target the Mirror Maiden first, since she is much more bulky than the Mage, boasting at least 2 times more HP. The Mirror Maiden can be staggered initially, but after she launches her first attack, cannot be staggered any longer. I suggest using an Animo user for this half, since you'll be able to deal AoE damage much more easily, especially against cloaked Fatui agents, as well as grouping the Electro Fatui Mage with the Mirror Maiden, so that you don't have to waste time dealing with the Electro Fatui Mage after killing the Mirror Maiden.
Ring cutter. Time to accept Her Majesty's gift. Stand clear. Mirror images. Animal hypostasis. Teamwork is dreamwork. Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword.
Going into the second chamber, we have 2 waves yet again in the first half. You'll fight against 2 Meta Trolls, one with a Pyro debuff, and the other spawns an Electro Cage. Be careful about the Electro Cage, as with the Pyro debuff, this can proc Overload, which will shred shields in an instant, and potentially stun your character as you're trying to defeat the Meta Trolls. The second wave involves an Electro Lava Troll with a Hydro Abyss Mage. The Hydro Abyss Mage can spawn water bubbles all around you, so try to take it out first. The shockwaves the Blessing gives this time can actually pop the water bubbles around you, so try and utilize that if you find yourself having any trouble. Also, the Lava Troll has an Electro debuff effect that takes away your energy at certain intervals, so keep in mind of your energy meter for your bursts. Having a shielder here helps significantly because of the fact that Lava Troll and the Abyss Mage can proc Electro Charged, which can also stun you, along with the Overload from earlier.
Correct your fury. I will have order. Forth my blade. Stabilize. Order guide you. Submit for judgment.
The second half of Chamber 2 boasts a Magu Kenki. You can charge your burst during the 8-second invulnerability phase Magu Kenki has if you need it. Positioning here is key. You always want to have Magu Kenki face away from the wall with his back towards the stairs. This is because when he dashes initially, he'll always dash backwards. If he dashes backwards onto the stairs of the Spiral Abyss, he'll actually be stuck on them. And so if he ever tries to dash away, he won't be able to significantly and stay in relatively the same position. Iframing through the use of elemental bursts or dashing is highly recommended here, especially due to the fact that Magu Kenki has extremely wide AoE and high damage. Magu Kenki's attacks can easily one-shot most characters, and so iframing is extremely recommended. For players that utilize Fischl, keep in mind that her burst doesn't actually iframe through attacks. So if Magu Kenki uses one of his wide AoE slashes, Fischl can still die even when activating her elemental burst.
Everybody stand back! Eat this! Let me weave you a bird. Nice and spicy!
We then get to the third chamber. The first half still has two waves, the first being a Ruin Hunter. You can trick the Ruin Hunter AI to fly up so that you can stun it with an arrow, using multiple skills such as GOMCs, as I do here in this video. Any skill or ult that involves you getting elevation above the ground will work and cause the Ruin Hunter AI to trigger and fly up.
I will have order. Submit for judgment.
After dealing with the Ruin Hunter, 3 Ruin Sentinels will spawn. I usually go after the one that looks like a crab, since it can negate damage dealt from the front. You're really free to deal with this however you want, just dealing as much AoE damage as possible.
From whence you came, forth my blood. Order guide you. This is order.
Crumble apart!
Second half is very similar in design to the first, with a Ruin Guard rather than a Ruin Hunter. It doesn't have any special aura or effects, so you just deal as much damage to this thing as possible to get to the second wave.
Get them! Stand clear! Animal test 60 feet. Everybody stand back!
After dealing with the Ruin Guard, 3 Ruin Sentinels will spawn. You'll want to go to the Ruin Sentinel that looks like a snake on the right side of the Abyss. This is so that you can group all 3 of them in one area. I've found sometimes that the Ruin Sentinel on the left hand side doesn't come over initially. You'll have to somewhat move to the center a little bit so that it aggroes on you and then decide to drill over. That you can deal AoE damage to all 3 of them at the same time. You'll notice in this video mine doesn't actually walk over, and you'll see me go over to the middle to try and aggro it. Here are the builds I used for Spiral Abyss, and if you have any sort of comments or questions about how to build for Spiral Abyss, or just questions about Genshin in general, please leave a comment down below, and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you found the tips and tricks useful.